Hi, this is Dalise for the Lily Pad. I am doing a video that Lily requested. Fiera had these wonderful ideas that she put into the forum as journaling text ideas that you can find in the learning pad area, and I'm just making a video to go with it. The first technique that she's talking about is, she calls it fill it in. I'm gonna here in my Photoshop, I have CS5. I am using these beautiful background papers called Totally Trash the Nursery by Lynn Grieveson. Go back, okay? I want you to go here to your tool. Usually this would start with the rectangle tool, and you can pick any of the tool, your rectangle tool or your rounded rectangle tool or your ellipse tool, polygon, line, or custom shape. I'm gonna pick my rectangle tool, and you can change here the radius, and that radius is gonna modify how rounded the corners are. I'm gonna make, let's see, a little rectangle here, and I'm just clicking and dragging, and that makes my rectangle, and I create it. If you notice over here in my layers, I have a new layer that is a shape layer. Now, you notice my mouse pointer is across. Doesn't matter where I put it, it's across because I still have my tool selected. If you pick now your text tool and you go here, you can see how has your text pointer, but look what happens when I put it inside of my figure. It changes to the text pointer with like two brackets or parentheses around it. So now I'm gonna click inside. I'm gonna start typing my journaling. The journaling will stay inside of the shape that I created. I can keep typing, and this shape that I created will contain my font. You can click accept. Now do notice that you have a shape layer and you have a text layer. You can come here and you can either close the eye, which is the visible, so it's not visible, but it's gonna keep staying inside that shape that you created, and you have your text layer. Now, the second technique that she mentioned is called surrounded. Surrounded also uses the shape tool. So I'm gonna go back to my shape tool. I'm gonna pick my rounded rectangle again. Rounded rectangle, and I am going to create another shape. Now, I can come to my text. Again, text here. If I click here, it has those brackets. But if I position myself in the line, you see how it changes to that squiggly line in between the font? And I click, now I can start writing my journal around my shape. You can click OK. See? And I can move this around. Still a shape. Okay? Now, let's look at our third technique is walk the line. We're going to go over here. And I am going to come over to my pen tool. Pen tool is, it's one of those things that is tricky to learn how to use, but it's a very, very powerful tool. And let me tell you, my husband loves the pen tool, and he was the one who encouraged me to learn how to use it. Here we're only going to use it to make a line, so it's not a big deal. Click, click, you got a line, right? Come over here, same thing, click on your text, See, look how see how my pointer changes to the squiggly line? I can click there. I can start writing my journal. Now, the last technique that she mentions is a work around it. I'm gonna close all the little layers here and making them invisible or not visible. And actually, okay, so now it's like my paper was back. Let's say that this page is going to be a journaling page, and I want to write and then all the text around here, but I don't want to cover any of the beautiful images that look that they're like torn in, that somebody torn the paper and you can see the background underneath. There's a few ways that you could do. You could do this with a pen tool, but again, you need to know how to use the pen tool because it's a little bit tricky on learning. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but let me tell you, if you want to learn if you want to know a very powerful tool, you need to learn the pen tool. In this tutorial, I am not going to use a pen tool because that would be a completely different tutorial. I'm going to use the polygonal lasso, which is going to give you the same effect as the pen tool, just a little more rough around the edges. So I'm going to start, I have my lasso tool. I'm going to click. If I press my shift key, I get a completely straight line. You see, look, it's either a 45 or 90. I can click again. And I have, right here is my first little edge. So I'm clicking, clicking, shift, press, click, click, and I'm just dropping a few clicks around the area, just following like that to here. Shift again so I get a perfect straight line. Click, click, click. I'm gonna speed this up and see. Sorry, now I'm not talking much, but this is the same thing. I just click and move. Click. Now double click. Double click closes the area that you pick. Now that you have it that way, you can come grab your pen tool, your text tool. Now if you move here, you notice that your text is not changing. Did you notice that? Well, in this case, that I don't think it's true with the pen tool, but in this case, since you're using the polygonal lasso, you can come here in the bottom part and you're going to create a new layer. And after you create a new layer, sorry, you're going to go to the path. Oh, sorry, my machine gets really slow. You're going to here create a new path, and then you're going to click also. After you create a new path, you're going to make work path from selection. And I'm going to click that one. And now I see how you don't have marching ants anymore. Now you have a solid line. And again, look, now my text pointer changes to the bracket if I want to write inside, or to the squiggly line around the text if I want to write around it, but I want to write inside this journaling block, and it's going to keep my text around the selected area. I will write a little bit more so you can see how it wraps around it, okay? I'll be back. Okay, I have copy and paste the same text over and over and over, but I just wanted you to see how it would look. I had just written down all that text. You see, you don't see the line around it. You see that it's keeping away from the areas that we did not select it to be part of our journaling block. I hope this helps. And again, this is Delise with a Lily Pad.